course, doesn't mean the markets are going to replicate this, but we just need to be aware. And the key points are that as we get into October, there are 2 or 3 points that we need to look at. I think the bulk of the crash begins 11th of October. And the reason is that, as you know, with the market timing report, we have our own proprietary system, which highlights the timing signals. And we do have timing signals around the same time, mid-month.
So if you look at, so what you're basically saying that is that October 11, in your opinion, is an important turning point. Der 11. Oktober also ist ein wichtiger Turning Punkt aus Sicht von Andy. And
around about the 14th in this case, but the point is we're just looking at the pattern there, and our cycles are suggesting that mid-month is a pretty important time for the world's markets.
But again, I mean, you're not predicting a 1929 style crash. You're just basically saying that if you look at the time cycles of that era, just like the other two cycles we're going to look at, 1919 and 1970, there are similarities that are up for repetition. Also es gibt historische Ereignisse in dieser Timeline, deren Wiederholung jetzt im Prinzip bevorstehen.
Yeah, well, we're not really expecting a crash, but it is always a possibility because some of these things come out of left field. And also, let's go back to 2007-8. Nobody would have expected the market to have gone down by 50%. Typically crashes or corrections do go down 50%. Unless if an extraneous event comes in, then it is possible.
Let's look at the historical patterns one more time. So we looked at the 1929 pattern. There's another pattern that you're looking at, and what are we looking at here?
So this is just going back 40 years, which is 2 20-year cycles. So that's how we tend to look at it. There are certain cycles that work at certain levels. But this just shows there was a very sharp sell-off, with a high on the 5th of October that went down to the 7th of November. So it was very, very sharp. So that was that.
So then we have another period that you're looking at. Let's have this one. So this one we already had. I don't think we had this chart here yet. Yeah, there you go.
The 100-year cycle.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is great. So this basically showing a little overshoots through October into the beginning of November, and here we do see a significant high and then a major sell-off. This is basically after the post-war, after the Great War, the boom suddenly went to bust. Just a few months later, because the war efforts all stopped in all nations, and this was the effect of it. So this effectively is 2 50-year cycles is how we see that, 100-year cycle.
Now you picked these specific years, und ich glaube, was viele sich in der Community auch fragen, warum ausgerechnet diese Jahre und warum ausgerechnet diese Zyklen und was haben die eigentlich miteinander zu tun? So the question for me is, so why did you specifically pick those years? Yeah. How do these cycles fit together, and do they indeed intersect? Why are those the years that matter to you right now?
Okay, so as I mentioned, the 45-year cycle is a very important one, and the 50-year cycle is also important. The 50-year cycle, you double that up, becomes 100 years. Those are the two that are really fitting together. And it's like say we go to a cafe, and you go in there every week, and I go in there every month, and a third friend of ours comes in there once a year. What's the day that all three of us will be in the cafe having a party? And that's when the big events come, when all the big cycles come in. There are actually other cycles coming together as well. I've just given you a quick overview, and we'll run through them in the latest report. That's why I'm concerned that we do have a lot of stuff coming together, and we know that when the mood changes, it can change very rapidly. You might take some left field event. I don't know.
So what is your approach looking at the month of October, knowing what you know and knowing what you're looking at? Welchen Approach, wie geht selber jetzt mit diesem aktuellen Szenario um?
Okay, so what's basically happening is that when we look across other instruments, and especially the dollar, I'm seeing some very big cycles on the dollar mid-month. Okay, there are some commodity cycles. So like we're saying, the commodity guys are going into the cafe, the currency guys are going in there, and the equity guys are going in there. So everybody's meeting up. There's a big cycle coming together here, and this is what we're interested in. We think there could well be some really big changes ahead. It's not really clear. Maybe It may be to do with Trump. It may be to do with China. It may be to do with both of them. It might be to do with follow-up from the oil attack, which we predicted last month in the terrorism cycle. That was just an 18-year cycle straight on from 9/11, and there was an attack 18 years before that as well. So all these things are coming together. And so my view right now is that would I be very bullish in October? Generally, no, because it's one of the most bearish months of the year anyway. Years ending in 2019, generally bullish, but they tend to peak out towards the back end. So that's my view, is that statistically, we're at risk to the downside more than we can benefit to the upside.
Also in anderen Worten, das Risiko nach unten ist wesentlich größer als die Chance nach oben und deshalb lohnt es sich im Oktober doch eher vorsichtig zu sein. Meine persönliche Theorie ist ja, dass wir uns mit China annähern, dass wir noch einmal einen Pop nach oben kriegen, also tatsächlich eben auch diese 3091 erreichen können, bevor der Markt dann einknickt. Aber selbst dann bin ich gespannt, weil ich glaube, dass die Fiskalpolitik und die Notenbankpolitik hier stärker eingreifen wird, als vielleicht so manch einer denkt. You know, I'm a bit on the fence here because I honestly think that this could go either way. You know, if we get this China-US BS kind of deal, you know, and you paint it somehow positive, we might get a pop up. And the fact that the European Central Bank seems to understand at this point that negative interest yields are actually counterproductive, there might be more stimulus coming out of Europe. And it's interesting to see that Bank of America and JP Morgan, both of them are turning more bullish on specifically the European stock market. But then again, and that's one thing I really love about what you do, and that's why I appreciate what you do, because your timing has been, I've been following you for quite a while. Hier geht es wirklich historische Zyklen. This is about historical cycles. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is more about it's not about the specific kind of event that will occur, but it's about the fact that in historical patterns, there are certain build-ups in events, all sorts of different events that coincide and that can basically derail markets.
That's absolutely right. It just seems that mathematical cycles repeat over and over again, and that's it. And the thing is that most people at this day and age tend to take a shorter-term view. They don't see the big cycles coming in.
So jetzt, before time's running out, I would like to have a debate with our viewers. Also stellt bitte Fragen, ihr seid in der Fragenrunde mit dabei. Ich möchte ganz kurz nochmal den Goldpreis ansprechen. Since we're running a bit short on time, let's talk last but not least about gold. Sure. And that's another thing that you really nailed back in June 20th. I've sold my gold myself a while ago. Just a couple of weeks ago, to be honest, and have been streaming a while saying that gold could retest the support lines of 1450. That's my personal goal for gold. Und jetzt ist Gold heute wieder im Plus. Gold is up again today with the market selling off. But you remain bearish in regards to gold. Bleibt also im Lager der Bären. Schauen wir uns den Chart hier mal an. What's your take on gold?
Okay, so you're just seeing an intraday chart here, and first of all, what we saw was a major high come in based on a lot of our cycles analysis. These cycles were very strong. So in this case, if we think about people going into the cafe together, 10 people came into the cafe together, 8 or 9 or 10 cycles came together. But then the big sell-off from the 24th of September was 24th of September, 150 years ago in 1869, was the top of gold up, and there's a very big gold panic caused by the corner by Gould and Fisk. So 150 years is 5 50-year cycles. Remember we talked about 100 years being 2 50-year cycles. They all came together. Rarely does it come in on the day, but you can see here, gold then touched that top parallel line, and we've sold off from there. And we've hit the target this afternoon on the green line, and subsequently we've bounced off that green line a little bit. So that's my view. I do think we're going to head down. 1418 is a target I have on December gold to start with. I do think in the much longer term, over the next several months and year or so, we could be heading a lot higher though. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a retest of 1920.
So in other words, und ich glaube, die Meinung haben viele, der Goldpreis bleibt langfristig in einem Bullenmarkt, aber könnte technisch nochmal 1418 aus der Meinung von Andrew Pancholi treffen. Schauen wir uns die Fragen von euch mal an. Let's look at the questions. Well, Hanno already asked, what about gold? Ich glaube, die Frage haben wir mittlerweile beantwortet. Ja. Bis gleich, mag mal bitte übersetzen. Ja, das Problem ist natürlich immer, dass auch viele Leute sagen, Valentin, dass das Übersetzen nervig ist. Deshalb halte ich mich normalerweise mit dem Übersetzen auch ein bisschen zurück. Es ist manchmal nicht einfach, müsst ihr euer Englisch ein bisschen üben, aber in dem Fall ist es dann halt mal jetzt ein englischer Stream. Maybe one more thing that I think is important, Andy, to clarify. What you're doing has nothing to do with astronomy, right?
No, they're all mathematical cycles, and the whole thing kind of mixes up. Some of the cycles come out at the same numbers, and there is some universal correlation, but I'm looking at mathematical cycles. That's what we've programmed in our models here, and that's what seems to work.
Great. Well, let's look at a few more questions. Ich sehe schon, dass der Ton von Andy etwas leise ist. Das müssen wir das nächste Mal auch nachregeln. Das ist übrigens die erste Schaltung, die wir aus dem Studio machen zu einem Gast in London. Deshalb verzeiht uns, dass wir hier und da noch ein bisschen improvisieren. Ja? Englisch ist auch nicht einfach, sagt Gregor. The good thing is, it's like a lot of from the community are saying, Andy, that English is also not an easy language.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. My German is just not that good. I understand bits of what you're saying, but not everything. I'm so sorry.
Alright. So, nochmal, lasst uns an der Stelle einfach jetzt mal Schluss machen und ich würde vorschlagen, das nächste Runde werden wir den Ton bei Andy noch ein bisschen hochregeln. Und wie gesagt, für mich ist es ein ganz interessanter Aspekt, nochmal zu realisieren, dass es sich hier nicht um Esoterik handelt und irgendwelche Sterndeutungen, sondern dass es sich hier tatsächlich um mathematische Modelle handelt und dass diese langen Zyklen eben sehr oft miteinander überschneiden. Und wer Andy jetzt auch länger verfolgt, und ich kenne Andy, how long do we know each other now? 2 years, 2, 3 years, something like that?
A bit more, yeah.
A little bit more than that. Und wer genauer mal hinschaut, der merkt, dass das ein schöner unterstützender Faktor ist. Ne? Also so, the way I look at what you do, Andy, it's a great addition to to making investment decisions, right? Wenn man jetzt fundamental vorgeht oder durch technische Analyse, da sind diese langfristigen Zyklen eben auch ganz wichtig mit zu beachten. Also, guys, I would say, Andy, thank you very much. We're going to post under the stream here where we can look at your service. Und wenn ihr mehr wissen wollt, schaut euch das bei Andy hier nochmal an. Und das nächste Mal ist der Ton von ihm leider. We have to, the next time we have to get your audio levels a little higher. But we, just to das lief heute so, Andy hat seinen neuen Report rausgeschickt, wir haben kurz telefoniert, er muss morgen nach Washington fliegen von London und haben wir gesagt, you know what, let's just do it. And we did it. Und das nächste Mal ist der Ton dann auf einem höheren Niveau. Andy, I really appreciate you taking time for us. And I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong.
So do I. So it's great to be on the show again. Thank you so much, Marcus, and we'll catch you next time. And thanks for very short notice. So thank you so much.
In dem Sinne, ich wünsche euch einen guten Handelstag. Andy, have a good time in London. Safe travels and talk to you next time.
Thanks very much. Bye bye.